Welcome to my channel. I'm Colleen Wynia of ColleenWynia.com, bringing to you the opportunity to navigate life transitions of loss and major flip up. Any changes you're dealing with, you got this. Okay, so welcome to my channel. Click the link below to subscribe. Subscribe so you're receiving messages from me each and every week, and join my community, HeartLink Consulting. I'm going to hit you today. I'm joking. Let's talk about freedom. Let's talk about breaking free of the chains. I want to help you break free of fear. What is true freedom? It's Independence Day. It just had Canada Day. I'm Canadian. I'm beautiful British Columbia, Vancouver, BC, North Vancouver actually. And I love helping people break free of chains. So how I'm going to relate this message, I'm going to give you three really key paramount pieces for you to release that fear that could be holding you back. Okay, let's get started. Number one, decide to stand up for yourself. Decide to commit to you. Decide to take ownership. I call it 1000% responsibility. And what do I mean by that? It's a decision. We know about decisions. It is a place where we stop blaming and we stop, I know this is a really huge season in our life. This is a huge spiritual awakening. There are impacts of conspiracy that many will talk about in this awakening. There's monopolies, government, food chains. There are places where we can so easily blame. And I recognize the harm in all of it. But what can you do? Well, you can take ownership of you. That's what you can do. And so in these three parts of conversation around breaking free of breaking free of fear, freedom, it's a tongue twister. We have to decide to take ownership. So as I relate this to my journey of almost 2 decades of loss and heartbreak and depression and eating disorder and so many loved ones, right? I have supported people in breaking free of their freedom, their anxiety, their overwhelm, and their weight, their issues that are holding them in because there's so much fear impacting them that the stress cortisol is super high. So by taking ownership, like my client did yesterday, brand new, amazing client, this woman has succeeded in so many elements of her life. But why did she reach out when she'd had a really amazing, what she seems was a family upbringing in general? And what she seemed to create in her life at 30 years of age was a lot of success in her business, right? So what is happening? Realizes that she has some anxiety, some stuckness, some feelings and self-judgment to release. How did that come upon? Her body told her. Her body spoke to her. The second step to breaking free of fear and claiming true freedom inside is releasing anxiety and overwhelm. As I relate that to my life and I relate that to the clients I've worked with, in particular this amazing woman yesterday, she showed me that although she'd been so successful in her career, in her life, in so many respects, her body showed her that when you have a block in your throat and you feel like you're stuck in some regard, not that it's super painful, but there's this feeling when you're going through your life and you're just not sure which direction to turn in terms of your next career move. We've all been through so much traumatic change in this season. We are facing so much conscious awakening, spiritual awakening. There is a lot of impact from the world, from your family, from many neural pathways that you've held that have been beliefs that are built and based on lies. Okay, so in order to get free, you know, you are first committing to yourself, and second, you are doing the work. So what we did, which was one of the fastest approaches that I've ever experienced in nearly 2 decades of working with people, is when I'm with a person and I'm integrating with them to help them by channeling information, by holding a counseling space for them, by creating a space of energy, body work, those things all work amazingly. This one thing called rebirthing, or the breath of life, conscious connected breathing, brings you there really, really quickly. So let me give you a quick example. This is a longer process, right? You're talking about 45 minutes of the breath work in itself. But what can you do? What can you do every single day to do a similar experience? You can do activation breath work. So here's, guys, what you do. I do it in the morning. You can do it any time of day. I often do it like in bed before I get up. So I'm setting the stage, because the first half hour of the day, your mind is going, you know, into alpha, beta. It's flipping back and forth. So it's a really, really good time to do the inner work, just like you do your first miracle morning, where you'll do the first, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 60 minutes of you time. So what you want to do is close your eyes, sit up or lay down, and you're going to take a deep breath in from your belly all the way up to your chest through your mouth, and it looks like this. You can make a sound or not. That simple breath work, breathing into the various energy centers of your bodies. If you have 10 minutes, pick 2 energy centers, for example. Decide, where are you feeling restriction? My client was feeling huge restriction around her throat. Okay, that was one area. So one of the energy centers, if you're feeling blocked, that's where you could breathe in for the mini session. When we worked together, we dove right into her whole body, and amazing stuff opened up. She had an experience she's never had in her entire life. So if you would like that, reach out to me, because I can guide you and help you at a distance, not only in person here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. So in the show notes below, you can connect with me at ColleenWynia.com, and you can also be connected to my community by grabbing the free ebook, 8 Best Steps to Raise Your Vibration. So go ahead and do that now. And remember to, click the link if you want more videos like this. So that was part 2. We brought her through a process, and it was so beautiful to see the transformation and the relief that she felt, and the pain coming up from the body. It's not fun when you're going through it, but I'll tell you, it's less fun in life when you're in fear. Let's do stuff to break free. So thirdly, what's the thing you need to do, guys? You need to connect your head to your heart, right? Sounds logical? Logical, that's the mind. Well, she was living in her mind for so long. I often say to people, she had a master's degree from all the studying she's done, all the things she knows what to do. But if you haven't made that connection with the body, if you have not done the healing work in the body, that's where you're going to run up against a wall. So for her to have that freedom, we were able to get her moving, get the energy flowing. Then what do you do with it? Well, once you're in that space, you can start to get ahas. You may still not know, but you can also brain dump. So in order to connect that, you make the decision, you do body work, you do energy work, you do this very powerful breathing technique that I'd love to guide you through. And you also, at the end of that, you spend time with you. You spend time in nature, you spend time journal, you can mind map, right? So whatever's coming out of you, and I'm talking about going into the ugly, going into the beauty as well, but get it out of your mind. Mel Robbins will often say, brain dump. So when you're overwhelmed and your mind is just full of so many things of, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you want to choose the things that are going to move your business forward, your health forward, your life forward. So I always bring people through my 5-step star approach, which is, 5-star approach or 5-pointed star approach. My star is over there. I actually have a symbol from it. It's an amazing star. I'll bring it to you next time here, and we'll go into that. but I relate that there's the 5-star points that really make up all of your life in order to live healthy, happy, joyful, you know, beyond 100 or up to 100. Whatever the thing you're doing in life, if you're missing any of these points, which is, you know, express, you've got expression, which is this emotional expression is number 1. You've got your ability to move your body, right? You move the energy, move your body, you get things flowing. You want to be able to prime your body. This is where you have nutritional wellness. You've got to fuel your body the right things. Number, I say 4 is align. You want to align yourself, that spiritually, emotionally. That's sort of like, it's sort of like a bigger version of the emotional expression. You want to align. And this is your love relationships. You're with God, with Source, with your beloveds all around you. And lastly, in order to live a long and happy life, you need to monetize. So I just want to throw that in, that we'll visit on that at another video, another piece of information, another teaching. But when you go back and you brain dump all the things that you feel that are not matching up to that 5-pointed star, like where you feel like you're falling down, where you feel like you're overwhelmed, brain dump, get it out of you, get back to your heart, because once you get the stuff out of your mind, you can breathe it back into your heart. So take that with you, you guys. It's been Independence Day today. It was Canada Day just recently. And remember that you are 1,000% responsible for your soul journey. You chose this. That's my belief anyways. You don't have to take this with you. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. We're all like have our own experiences and perceptions based on your cultural upbringing, me based on mine, and so forth. So, but what we want to do is to break free. You have to find you, right? So go and find you. Love for you to be a part of my community. Remember to subscribe, tap the bell to be notified of future videos here. And that's just down below. And take a look at the show notes. There's some very powerful videos, especially if you've been through grief and loss in your life overall. Check out my video links below and pop over and check out some of the other videos, and be sure to join my newsletter community. Much love, you guys. Totally love and light to you.